welcome back to the Space City Tattoo Expo, first annual. We're here with Sir Twice. I like that name. Do you reveal your actual name, or do you just say Sir Twice?
I just say Sir Twice. Yeah.
How long have you been going by Sir Twice?
Once I got into tattooing, my apprenticeship, my mentor gave me that name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was your mentor?
Kurt Deachin, he's in San Diego now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he started in Chicago with you? You started under him in Chicago?
Yep.
Were you always, so you specialize, from what I can tell, you specialize pretty much in lettering.
Yes.
Were you always into that? Did you tattoo in any other style to start with?
Well, when I first started, I was really into like Chicano type of stuff.
Yeah.
Clowns and all that.
Right.
When I got my apprenticeship, Kurt, he's the one that told me, look, man, there's not many lettering guys out here. I think you should really push it.
Yeah.
And that's when I just kept practicing.
Happy that you went that direction?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, you're doing some beautiful lettering. What, did you have a background in that before you started tattooing, or did you start drawing lettering specifically for tattooing?
I started drawing lettering specifically for
tattooing.
Yeah.
What was your art background before that?
I've always been into art.
Yeah.
You know, I've always drawn.
Yeah.
Like I always drew a lot of realistic stuff.
Okay.
So with names and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you started getting into lettering, because it really is kind of a specialty thing, you know, the guys that are doing it really well, it's basically like everything in tattooing is becoming so specific that if you're going to be great at lettering, you got to do a shit ton of it. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you start? Was it like trying to copy fonts? Did you start to create text on your own from the very start? Or?
Well, I looked through BJ Betts.
Yeah.
BJ Betts already had the books out when I started tattooing, so I got to see a lot of his stuff, and Boog, Mr. Cartoon, definitely my biggest inspirations in lettering.
Right. How long have you been tattooing? When did you start?
I started in 2010.
Okay.
So it's going to be about 6 years now professionally.
Yeah. Okay. So we always talk. We have people that ask a lot of questions about lettering all the time, and I've always been of the opinion lettering like what you do, what BJ does, I think is awesome. I think sometimes when you throw it in with a lot of imagery, it gets distracting. Like you don't know whether to look at the image or the text in front of the image.
Yeah,
do you prefer to do one or the other? I mean, like if you're gonna do lettering, would you rather the entire composition be made up to focus on the lettering? Do you feel like that imagery, like roses or whatever, distracts the lettering, or do you like to combine them?
Oh, I like to combine them. I think that's the challenge, to make it flow together, and for you to not be distracted by something else.
Yeah, that is a challenge too. It's really easy for people that don't do it all the time and aren't at your level with it. People I feel like anytime I start to introduce lettering, maybe it's because I've entered I already know my composition as far as the image goes, and then I'm trying to work the lettering to it instead of thinking of it all together. And I think that's probably the most common mistake.
For sure. Yeah. I definitely try to complement, if I'm gonna do a portrait or any piece, I try to complement it with the lettering.
Right.
So the lettering should enhance the whole piece. You know what I mean? That's why I try to look at it.
Yeah. What are some of your tricks for doing that? Are you trying to kind of frame it, or do you sometimes try to intentionally break through the surface of the image? Or
it depends, you know. But I like going around.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like going around it.
Yeah.
For sure.
When you're designing say just lettering without imagery, just straight lettering, are you always thinking about mapping the body, the part of the body that it's on, or do you kind of draw generic, kind of lettering patterns and just kind of place them wherever they go? Do you try to draw to the space that it's going to go to?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, sometimes, when I get a filler, I think those are the most fun, because you got to kind of
work with
play. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about from a technical standpoint? What were the biggest challenges because that is a type of tattooing that obviously the line work has to be super clean. Any line weights, you have to be really comfortable with pushing really heavy lines and then really thin lines and everything in between. Did you struggle with that from a technical standpoint for a while? Or?
Yeah, actually, once I started doing conventions, it was kind of crazy, because I was like, man, the atmosphere is crazy. A lot of people come into you, and trying to pull a clean line work. it's pretty difficult.
It's tough. It's harder at conventions than in your own space.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, man, why did I choose lettering to be the special? You know what I mean? Right. But yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I've always thought the same thing. It's kind of one of the reasons we like to come and podcast at conventions, because I always like to go to conventions. I hated tattooing at them though. I was always distracted. I never feel comfortable. Nothing's where I want it to be, and so this was like a perfect hybrid for us. It was like, all right, now we can come to conventions. We still get to take part in it, and I don't have to tattoo there anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, because it's a different experience, and when people are staring over your shoulder and there's constant noise and traffic. So what? When we watch these guys, and I haven't looked to see if you do any of the videos or not, but we watch these guys that do these short little Instagram videos where they just like knock out these crazy little quick lettering. They'll have these fancy pens that have like 18 sides to them, and they
like the brush pens.
And they can get all these different. Are you able to make marks fluidly that way, like layout lettering, or is it tedious for you to like map it out? And is it a slow process, or when you're laying out lettering, is it something that you kind of depend on the flow of your movement to make?
Oh yeah, definitely depend on the flow.
Okay.
Definitely at this time it's easier for me to just lay it out.
Okay.
Pretty easy.
So say something like so with a couple of lines in it, you'll get the basic idea of that in just a handful of marks. You'll just come through and try to block that. It's not like you're being super tedious from the start. And
I like to be super loose with it. That way it has a lot of flow.
Yeah.
Because if you get really tedious, I feel like it starts looking stiff.
Yeah. Some people who are new getting into lettering, I've noticed, will try to do some background fills, or maybe they'll have little filigrees, little whipped lines, and then drop some shading behind it. And sometimes that gets like it's kind of competing with the text. Everything gets too heavy. Do you have any? Do you have to keep that in mind when you're doing any kind of washes behind?
Yeah, for sure,
lettering?
For sure. I always try to keep all that in mind. Yeah. I mean, one thing that I like my lettering to have a classic look that in 10 years is still gonna look right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So is it sometimes is kind of less is more with the background work?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
To keep it just on anyone trying to get into lettering, you mentioned BJ's books and a couple of people. What if someone's trying to go that route? Do you have any recommendations if they're just starting out to kind of help them along? Any of your favorite books? Any tricks that have worked for you?
Oh yeah, actually my book, Blood, Sweat, and Script. I have a book out there.
Blood, Sweat, and Script.
Yeah, and I pretty much have everything that I learned along the way of my career. I have it all in there.
Oh, okay.
So
Great.
yeah, I definitely recommend that book. But BJ Betts' book they're always great. There's a lot of reference material now.
Yeah. Are you doing it all on paper, or are you doing digital drawing?
Oh no, it's all on paper.
It's all on paper. Have you played with any of the digital stuff, like playing with any
like vectoring and all that?
Yeah, any of that.
Yeah, I have actually. But the thing is, I feel like I'm more of a hands-on person.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gets kind of boring for me to be on the computer and doing that. So I definitely like paper better.
Okay. Sorry, I'm making this. I said this wasn't going to be interviewing, but I'm just like popping out questions left and right. So,
for sure.
Sorry. So, as far as you said, you liked your script to be classic and to stand up. Is it a challenge to like keep it unique from piece to piece? Do you find yourself like making the same types of letters all the time, and you want to change them, or?
Yeah, but the thing is that a lot of people they want
that.
My letter, you know what I mean, and I try to make it different every time.
Yeah.
But there's some people that know I want it like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
do you use other do you flip through like font books or look at online fonts to get new ideas, or is it all just kind of out of your head?
No, I mean I usually get inspired by signs. Like if I'm driving and I see a semi, with some lettering on the side. That's usually I try to find my inspiration somewhere different.
Okay. Just in like different logos. And things like that.
Different logos for sure.
That's good. Do you do much color work at all?
No, I don't do color at all.
No color at all.
No.
Is there any particular reason you're just not interested?
Yeah, I'm just not interested in it. I don't have any color on myself, so I feel like I can't offer something that I don't have or I'll have fun with.
Yeah, and I guess, when you talk about keeping something clean and classic and trying to make sure that it's bold, when you start introducing too many other elements, it can probably get out of control pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned your book. What give like some little nugget of something good out of the book that someone that wants to get into lettering can kind of like plug in and say.
Oh, I think something that stands out from my book is on one of the pages I threw in some of my old lettering.
Okay.
Some of the lettering when I first started.
Yeah.
You know, because people think right away you're like the man,
Right.
but they don't see all the work that you put into it.
Yeah.
So I think that book is very inspirational, and people could actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Feel me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could actually understand.
And see where you came from. Yeah, I think a lot of people just think like, oh, this guy just had great handwring. That's all there was to it. He probably in school he wrote really well, and that's why he does this.
For sure.
That's nice. I think that's always good to give people kind of a starting point, or to give them some kind of like idea of where you came from. It kind of helps to encourage people, I think.
For sure.
To keep plugging away at it. What about as far as like materials? Do you draw with like? Are you working with like mechanical pencils or with?
I mean, I like mechanical. Well, I love using tracing paper with a micron.
Okay.
Like that's my favorite right there.
And you'll lay it out with a micron from the very start?
No, I'll sketch it out, and then I'll put the tracing paper on top, and I'll just make a clean line work with it.
Any tricks to laying larger stencils with nothing but text? Because obviously any imperfections kind of stand out. Anything you found that works well?
To be honest, I don't really stencil like big pieces. You know what I mean?
Draw one?
I'll usually freehand it.
Okay. And that, and so you just think you can get a better feel of the space and get it cleaner. And
for sure.
Yeah. And are you kind of mapping out from? You'll kind of map up block out the area of the body and use kind of lines to lay it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Start the script there. Yeah, man. Well, that's awesome. So, anyone just starting out, because we have a lot of new tattooers that are just trying to decide what they're gonna do, and then a lot of people want to they might want to get into lettering, they might want to be portrait artists. Do you have anything, since you're still fairly new in tattooing, 6 years?
For sure.
Any tricks, not necessarily lettering specific, anything that worked for you that you would tell someone that's maybe 6 months into tattooing?
Just draw every day. Just draw, practice. That's really all.
Do you feel like people have to like you were lucky that you had a mentor that said, hey, this is something you could probably do well and would build you a clientele pretty quickly? Do you think that's necessary? Do you think people need to try to find something they can do well early on, or you think it's cool for them just to do whatever they can do and find it over time?
I think it definitely helps if it's something that they like, because no matter what, I've always liked lettering, you know what I mean? So I definitely recommend it's something that they enjoy. And I think it will help them keep pushing, and you know, because you're going to get those droughts where you're like, man, I feel like quitting, or I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
So, and if you have that love and you have fun, then you're definitely going to keep pushing.
Yeah. Are you traveling a lot? Are you working a lot from Chicago?
I've been traveling a lot lately.
Yeah. Staying booked pretty solid. Are you doing a lot of conventions or guest spots, or both?
I'm doing everything right now, man. I'm just sitting, I want to hit all states. And then start traveling to Europe.
Oh, yeah, good deal, man. We're doing the Venetian tattoo gathering, the one in Venice, Italy, that Off the Map puts on like in 2 months. I'm excited. I've never been there. Yeah, it'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on. Where do people find you if they want to book appointments, they want to look at your work?
My Instagram's at SirTwice. If you want to book an appointment, it's just by email at sirtwice@gmail.com.
Cool. Check him out, man. He's doing some beautiful, beautiful lettering. So, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. TattooImprovement.com. Sign up. Sweet, man. Thanks. That was awesome,
man.